Hey everybody, it's Josh back here again with Gaming Underground Miniatures. It's been a while, I know, but new year, we got plenty of good things going on, and this is about to be one of them. We are jumping into Dust 1947, aka Dust Tactics. And I used to play this, fun fact, back in 2014 and a bit of 2015. Went to Gen Con and got to meet the creators and some other people on the staff. It's a really fun miniatures game. It can be played anywhere from about half an hour to 2 hours, and that is all because it is a hybrid game. It has a board that you can play it on, or you can play it 3D style, they call it, also known as grid or gridless. So the grid system is very simple. It's a 3 foot by 2 foot board. You can put tiles on it, you can put 3D objects on it, and play it out that way. Or you can play it through a more traditional board like, say, Infinity, Warhammer, and all of those kind of games that use a full board. You just have to measure it out differently. It goes from squares, if you use the grid system, to a inches system, or centimeters, depending on where you're from. And it can make for some pretty exciting combat. I've done both versions. I like both, to be completely honest. I've done a tournament with one of my friends one time back in the day. It was a doubles tournament, and that was the gridless version. And then I've played a lot of the grid version. So I've talked to a lot of people, got them interested in it, and we're going to be jumping back into it. A lot of guys from the group itself for Gaming Underground is going to be getting into the game as well. So what I wanted to do was take a moment to do an unboxing video. I found a really good deal on the old Allied Joe Force. This was $30. This is normally about an $80 to $130 kit online right now. Also, something that you can see, it has a hero, 2 units, and a walker. Amazing deal for $30. One of those units alone is $30. So you're literally paying for one of the units, and you're getting another unit, a hero, and a walker basically for free there. You really can't beat that. This are the newer sets. You have 1 unit, 1 hero, and 1 walker. This was $72. You can find them on discount some places, but that's here or there. That's how you search. We're going to take a look at the contents, kind of measure the new kits versus the old kits, and see how it goes. I've read the rules itself. The game is very similar still. One thing to note, the game itself, you can get the entire rulebook for free on their website. That is a deal that is beyond stellar, honestly. You can print it out if you want, you can carry a PDF version, but the game itself, the entire rule system is free, and it's like a 170-page rulebook, so that's pretty big on its own. If you want the physical hard copy, they charge like $33, I believe it is, for it. So you can get it. It comes with like some tokens and stuff, but you can get the rules completely free. So you don't have to invest in that at all. You can jump straight to investing in the models, which is one thing that makes the company really great, is the fact that they give those rules away and you can just play. But let's take a moment to look into it. Now, like I said, the ally set that we're going to open is old set, so the cards aren't as good for anymore. The rules in it aren't good. What transfers over are the models. The models are good. The mat is good. Any terrain in that. And then the new one, which is this one right here, will have all the updated rules, new cards, stuff like that for their force. So, let's take a look. So, this is the Blitz Cruise set. What that is a sub-faction of Axis. Now, in this game, Hitler's been dead for about 4 years, along with all the Nazis. So, There's no real Nazi parties like in some of the other World War II games, which this is the placing of. And this is a weird World War II, where basically they found alien metal and technology, and they were able to capture it and start incorporating it. And Germany was the first group that did it. So, take a look here. Nice sturdy box of stuff in this. As you can see, plenty of stuff is literally falling out of the box. We have, what is your objective here? So this is the tiles I talked about. They have the cards here as well. So we have cards that we can look at for all the stats, objectives. And this is one of the most interesting parts about the game. When you buy it, the models, for the most part, are already put together. They're already primed. The only thing is, like, for the walkers like this, they have little bits that you can pull in and out. Just like that. Makes it easy for travel, easy for breaking down and stuff. But, like I said, it's all primed. It's all put together. You can literally just take it out of the box and play, which is, for a lot of people that are into war games, no, that is not something that happens very often. And then we got our unit here, and our hero. So, as you can see, they come pre-packaged already. They have little vacuum seals. Let's crack one of these open so you can see it. This is Frank von Stein. He is a zombie hero. So, and the neat thing about him is he actually had a convention exclusive a long time ago, which I was able to pick up. Still new in box, so I'll probably actually be using him because I like the look of this one just a little bit more than I like the look of the current one. And then here is my zombie unit, and that's one of the neat things about this. There are zombies, there's ninjas, there's apes that are like human beings. You can do a whole bunch of different stuff with it. Like you can see here. Primed, ready to go. I can paint it or play it right out of the box. So that's a pretty great deal there by itself. Now this is impressive to me. As everyone knows, neoprene mat's great to play, but this itself, I believe, goes for $22 on the website if I remember. So that would mean out of the 72, that $22 of this is the mat. So that means you're only paying $50 for this, and the walker itself goes for about $50. So you're getting a hero and a unit for free, more or less. You're getting a couple other things as well. So you get the starter rules. So you have a basic rule set. It's not the full encompassing one like you would download on the website, but this is plenty to get started with. And you get to know a little bit about the different grouping here. So you have a welcome to dust. You have some history and lore that you can look into, it looks like. You actually have the stats for everything right here, along with what's looking like a bit of details about them. What's actually nice is I'm looking, and they have tactics, so they kind of give you a basic idea of how you can play it. You don't have to play it that way, but gives a newbie a great idea of how to get into it. And then they got some pictures here, and then they have, this is what they call a battalion essentially. So they have different groupings here. This is your platoon. You would have combat unit 1, combat 2, and a hero. So in this case, they make sure that this box can be played just as this, and then you get additional benefits. A lot of people from Warhammer will be used to this. There's a few other games that take use of this kind of play style, where if you play certain things, you can put them in platoons, battalions, brigades, all sorts of different names like that, where they get special bonuses. So, overall, once again, this is a great deal in my opinion. We have a whole bunch of different little neat things. Got like a little terrain crate. So, very good box set. Oh, and this is important. You get 12 dice to start with. You can buy them in packs of 24 for $11. So this is like another little $6.50 or $5.50 actually. It'd be $5.50 for these 12 dice. So that's a nice little bonus there. You don't need to worry about buying dice separately to play. Then let's take a look at the old box now to kind of compare and contrast. And allies are pretty neat because they have like power armor troops. Every faction has a different thing. They call their factions blocks, and within those blocks there's a separate faction. So like the Axis is the block, and the Blitzkrieg are the faction within it, which is like their weird science stuff. The Allies, they have good old explosives because America. So we are going to take this one out. So kind of similar to the other set in a way. You have Dust Tactics, so you got like the rule set here. Much like the other one, except this is going to be an older set, so don't really need that. But once again, didn't really get it for that purpose. Here is the map that they have. You can see the squares here that I mentioned. They have buildings and stuff. So the neat thing about this is it's double-sided compared to the other, but this one is just like paper, so it will tear, it will give way to use a lot quicker. We have more dice. So once again, you get like the 12 starter dice. Pretty nice right there. And then you have the Walker. So their Walker is pretty neat in my opinion. And they got like the little machine gun that you can put on there. And then the big barrel for their gun. This is called the Pounder. So the Allies have a lot of explosives like I mentioned. A lot of just kind of like ground and pound kind of tactics. Whereas, say, the Axis, they have lasers, weird science, things like that. The SSU, which is like Russia and Japan/China, a couple other groups, they have Tesla, so they have like electric power and stuff like that. Japan, the IJN has railguns, and they have ninjas. Who can say no to ninjas? So let's take a look here. So we have, you can see the little guy in there, and this is supposed to represent flying, so he's got like a little peg you can put him in. Bam, he's flying. And this is very much like their Space Marine, basically. He's got a big machine gun, he's got a power fist, ready to go. But let's take him out so you can see. I don't know if you can really make it out, but they have like a little rocket on their fist, because they're rocket fists, so that's pretty neat there. He's got his two allies right here, so, and they come in squads of 3. Then you have the little infantry soldiers, which is another nice unit there. Those are their rangers. And here is the hero of this one, Bazooka Joe. My friend Will, he always used to love this model. It's like Bazooka Joe, just doing everything he can. He's got a handheld grenade launcher. Once again, the old models are primed, ready to go right out of the box. So, if you had to compare them, it comes down to a pretty hard sale of which one is better, the new kits or the old kits. I like neoprene mats. I'm pretty biased towards them. You do get the extra unit though, which I think is a little nicer. So, if I had to give way to something, I'd probably go with the old kit design, just because you did get 4 units out of it versus 3. But I'm not going to be upset about giving up a unit to get a neoprene mat. That does kind of sway me to saying they're pretty balanced in terms of value. Now, if it wasn't a neoprene mat, I'd definitely fully give it to the old set. But this one, not too bad at all either. Just kind of got the heroes. You'll also notice allies usually are green. You got the Axis are usually gray. The different factions are kind of primed in a base color to give you an idea what to go for, but you're welcome to paint them whatever you want, of course. And then, as far as for Dust itself, I'm going to be doing some follow-up videos. I'm going to try and do some lore history about it. I'm going to let people know just what the game is. I think it's a fun game. I'm very excited to share this game with all of you, and we'll be doing some coverage of Dust because there doesn't look to be like much from what I found. So I'm kind of interested in seeing what we can do with that to just share it, and I think that'll add a new layer. It's a new type of game, it's a different setting, so you'll find a different excitement about it. It's not AOS fantasy, it's not, 40K sci-fi. It is its own thing in being historical, but alternative history. So it's very fun just to take Cthulhu monsters, because that's a thing in this, fighting ninjas, fighting zombies, fighting, say, the good old American troop. Because you can do all of that, can get really crazy. Or you can just do a classic Russian troop versus, American troop. You can do Ally versus Axis. You can get historical with it, or you can get really crazy with it. It's all up to you and your opponent, and that makes it very interesting for keeping going. They have even more coming out. They have Italian Force coming eventually. They have the Alien Force. Like, all this stuff is this year. They have more coming for Mythos, which is the Cthulhu. And beyond that, there's nothing really stopping them from just continuing going and making this the best game that they can. So, I do thank you all for sharing this with me and taking your time to look into the video. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. Check out some of our other videos, and just keep checking in on our pages, because we do update frequently on Facebook. We update on our Facebook group. We have a page and a group, so feel free to follow one, join the other. And thank you very much. Happy wargaming.